If you could take an elevator straight down through the ocean, the world would change faster than your brain could keep up. Sunlight fades, colors disappear, and the friendly reef scenery turns into a cold, open emptiness that feels more like outer space than Earth. And the animals, the deeper you go, the less they resemble the versions you recognize. Bodies get stretched or gelatinous, eyes become enormous or vanish completely. Limbs look too long, too thin, too intentional, like nature is designing creatures for a place where normal rules don't apply. And squids, more than almost anything else, seem to get transformed by that descent. Not because they're evil, not because the deep sea wants to scare us, but because squid are basically living experiments in adaptation. Their bodies are soft, flexible, and built for quick evolutionary edits. So when the environment gets extreme, squids become extreme. To understand why squids get creepier the deeper you go, you need to understand what deeper actually means in the ocean. It's not one big zone, it's stacked worlds, each one darker, colder, and more pressurized than the last. Near the surface, you have the bright, familiar realm, warm water, plenty of oxygen, and food everywhere. This is where squids look like what most people imagine: sleek, torpedo-shaped bodies, clear patterns, fast movement, and normal-looking arms and suckers. In this layer, being a squid is about speed, camouflage, and quick attacks. You're an athlete in an arena full of light. But once you drop into the twilight zone where sunlight is weak and fades into blue, something changes. This is where the ocean starts to feel haunted. It's dim enough that hiding becomes more important than looking impressive. Here, squids often develop bioluminescence, living lights built into their bodies. Sometimes that glow is beautiful, like stars scattered across a moving animal. But it's not decoration, it's survival tech. Light can be used to lure prey, confuse predators, or even erase your silhouette from below using a trick called counter-illumination, matching the faint glow from above so you disappear. And some squids take stealth even further. They turn transparent. In a world where the background is mostly water and darkness, transparency is like invisibility. The creepy part comes from how unnatural it feels to see a creature with organs faintly visible, like something unfinished or ghost-like. But in the twilight zone, this isn't horror, this is optimization. Then you reach the true deep sea, the midnight zone. This is where sunlight is gone completely. No blue, no glow, just black water. The only light you see is made by living things. And now the ocean becomes a place where sound, vibration, and chemistry matter more than sight. Here, squid designs start looking less like animals and more like tools. Some develop longer arms for sensing and snatching prey at a distance. Some grow massive eyes to catch tiny traces of bioluminescence, like a predator scanning for the faintest flash in a universe of darkness. Others do the opposite and reduce their eyes because seeing isn't worth the energy. In the deep sea, energy is everything. Every movement costs, every muscle contraction is a bill that must be paid with food that may not show up for days. And this is where the first truly creepy squid traits become common: hooks. Instead of soft suction cups for gripping, certain deep-water squids evolve sharp, rotating hooks that can lock into prey like grappling equipment. Why? Because in darkness you don't want a prey item to slip away. You might not get another chance. Hooks turn a missed meal into a secured meal. They are brutal because the deep ocean is brutally efficient. Now, when people think about terrifying squids, they think about one name: the giant squid. It's famous for a reason. It's not just large, it's built like a deep-sea ambush machine. Enormous eyes, among the largest in the animal kingdom, help it detect faint light, especially the kind produced by predators or struggling prey. Long feeding tentacles extend like elastic traps. A solid beak, one of the few hard parts of a squid, can slice and tear in a way that feels shocking for such a soft-bodied animal. And the giant squid's myth isn't just fantasy. We've seen the evidence in the real world, especially in battles with sperm whales, predators that dive into darkness to hunt them. The scars on whales, circular marks and wounds, tell you these fights are real. Even when we don't see the squid alive, the deep sea leaves receipts. But here's the twist. Giant squid aren't necessarily the creepiest squids. They're just the most famous because we can confirm their existence more easily. The deeper you go beyond where giant squids typically hunt, the stranger the designs become, and the less we can confidently say we understand them. That's where the real fear comes from, not aggression, but mystery. Drop deeper still toward the abyssal plain, the ocean's vast, cold floor, and life slows down. Food is scarce. Many animals rely on marine snow, tiny flakes of organic debris drifting down from far above. Everything feels like it's running on low power mode. In that world, a squid doesn't win by sprinting, it wins by waiting. So you start finding squids that are thin, elongated, and ghost-like animals that drift rather than swim, conserving energy like a battery that has to last a lifetime. Their bodies can look fragile, almost unreal, because muscle is expensive, and the deep sea punishes waste. And then there's the heavyweight, the colossal squid. Different from the giant squid, but equally legendary. This one is shorter and thicker, more tank than spear. Its arms and tentacles can carry fearsome hooks designed to seize and hold on to large prey in a place where letting go might mean starving. Its eyes are still gigantic because in darkness, vision is about catching the smallest signal. Unlike giant squids, it exists in the shadow of the same enemy, sperm whales. Again, the whale scars and stomach contents tell the story. In the deep, even the most terrifying squid is still prey to something that dives deeper, listens better, and hits harder. But if you want the truly unsettling squid, the one that looks like it shouldn't exist, you go to the deep realm, where footage becomes grainy and sightings are rare, the Bigfin squid. This creature doesn't move like an animal we're used to. It seems to hover, it holds its arms at strange angles like jointed wires and lets incredibly long filaments trail beneath it, so long they look like endless threads disappearing into the darkness. It doesn't chase, it doesn't rush, it waits. That alone is disturbing because we associate danger with speed. The Bigfin's menace is the opposite, stillness. It's a shape that makes your brain say, this is wrong, even if it's harmless. So why do squids get creepier the deeper you go? First, darkness changes the rules. When there's no sunlight, camouflage becomes weird. Transparent bodies, reflective tissues, sudden flashes of bioluminescence. The deep sea turns animals into optical illusions. Second, pressure and cold reshape bodies. Soft, flexible structures can be favored because they're efficient and adaptable. Squids are basically muscle and nerve wrapped in skin, perfect for rapid evolutionary redesign. Third, food scarcity rewards extremes. Hooks that prevent escape, large eyes that detect faint signals, gigantism in some cases because bigger bodies can store more energy and travel farther in an empty world. Or the opposite, drifting gelatinous forms that survive by barely moving. And finally, we fear what we don't understand. The deepest ocean is still largely unexplored. We have better maps of distant planets than we do of many deep trenches. So when you see a squid that looks alien, part of the fear isn't what it is, it's what it implies. If this exists, what else does? The deep sea doesn't make squids creepy for fun, it makes them efficient. And efficiency, in a world without light, can look like a nightmare. If you want a part 2, we can go even deeper, not just into the animals, but into the biology, how squid eyes work in darkness, how their skin makes light, and how pressure reshapes evolution itself. Until then, maybe let's keep our curiosity a safe distance above the abyss.